Howdy everyone, Chase here with Silencer Shop, and today I'm joined with Nate from B&T to kind of walk us through who B&T is and all about the new silencers that are coming to the market.
Yeah, we're happy to be here. Thank you very much for having us, Chase.
Absolutely.
Bruegger & Thomas been around for about 30 years on the European market. That's been their focus, specifically military and law enforcement. So if you've seen suppressors OEM'd for certain other companies, big names out there, the likelihood that B&T made them is very, very good. B&T has actually put together a really strong marketing push for the commercial market here in America because we have, with Silencer Shop as a good example, a wonderful partnership and a huge demand for a new design of suppressor at a different price point, which is part of the reason we're here.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, as you touched on, B&T is huge overseas, really big in foreign militaries, foreign LEO, and now we're super excited to be able to offer that same technology and all those same advantages to all the Second Amendment enthusiasts and NFA enthusiasts right here in America. So one of the most exciting parts about B&T is they don't just make these silencers, they also are a huge firearms manufacturer, and these systems are really made to work together from the gun to the silencers, and it all is a cohesive unit, so you get absolute reliability and dependability. And what's really great about this APC 223, they also make one in 300 blackout and 7.62, depending on what you're trying to shoot and what you want to do. They are all fully ambidextrous, and then they work seamlessly with the silencers. So it's built from the ground up to be a complete system. You can shoot it unsuppressed or suppressed, quick adjust gas block, and then flows right into the suppressor. And there's two main lines of suppressors, so we have a lot of choices on what you might want. The first is going to be the Rotex, these slightly thinner ones, and then the SRBS. And could you walk us through kind of who is the Rotex for and what are the differences between these two lineups?
Yeah, all the cans are DMLS, so they're either titanium or Inconel 3D printed. DMLS allows us to keep costs lower as well as produce cans a little faster and print things that you just couldn't do with standard CNC machines prior.
Absolutely. So the Inconel are going to be those super hard use silencers for your semi-autos, AR-15s, AKs, things like that you're really shooting high round counts. And the titanium is obviously going to give you a bunch of weight savings. So if you're training with the, a little bit lower rates of fire, or you're putting these on like a bolt action hunting rifle, something like that, you can get away with the weight savings.
So you're getting either Inconel or titanium suppressors depending on what you choose. The Rotex series are going to be a little more of a traditional design in terms of baffle. So if you were to cut one apart, it's going to be a little closer to what you're used to. These all do have flash hider end caps built into them, so for reducing flash mitigation, which depending on what you're doing can be a big deal. So the Rotexes are going to be a little more traditional and better designed for something that's a sealed system like a bolt action rifle and a lower fire schedule. So if you're shooting something, let's say like a hunting rifle, and you want the lightest, best suppressor you can get, the Rotex is a great choice. And obviously you've got different calibers and different sizes to choose from. Then we've got the SRBS series, which is the Slimline Reduced Back Pressure series. These are designed to reduce back pressure back into a semi-auto system, right? They are full auto rated with no barrel length restrictions. These are 7.62 cans are also rated with up to Magnum calibers. So you have the options that you want and everything you desire in a suppressor. I'm a big fan personally of the reduced back pressure cans. One of the easiest ways to tell is if you look at them directly on. The Rotex cans have a single internal line, and the SRBS cans have two lines. And that second line is actually where the front venting is on the can itself. You'll also notice that the SRBS cans are a little fatter, a little more diameter to them to allow for more gas to actually be pushed out of the can itself.
Yeah, and we shot both of these today on a bunch of different guns, and what I was really appreciating, especially as a left-handed shooter about the SRBS, was there was almost no gas coming back into the system, back into my face as a shooter. So we shot a few hundred rounds on everything from semi-autos to full autos, and kind of on everything. These held up really well, they sounded great, and most importantly, I wasn't getting the gas in my face, gas in my eyes that you might get from some of those older silencers. So the Rotex and SRBS lineups are both available in either 5.56 or 7.62. Neither of them have any barrel length restrictions. They're both full auto rated, and on those 7.62 cans, they're also Magnum rated. So you can use those high pressure 30 caliber, 300 PRC, 300 Win Mag sorts of calibers on your precision rifles, hunting rifles. They'll work on just about any gun in your collection.
That's the idea.
That takes us into the different sizes of all these silencers. They're available in either a full length, a compact, or this might be called like an S in some silencers, and then a K for the most short. So you have a choice between which size, which material, and which mounting system you want.
And on the material side, if you're looking at one-to-one the same suppressor, so if we're talking the SRBS 5.56 titanium versus Inconel, there's about a 40% weight difference between the Inconel and the titanium suppressor. So again, if we're talking like the Rotex series, which is going to be better for a bolt action system, you've got a sealed system, so you're wanting to go with lighter and you're not having to worry about gas pressure coming back. You really should consider the titanium specifically because it's going to be a large weight reduction. Speaking of titanium, the actual mounting system for the hub is also titanium, and that's a big one. We've seen companies before where they have a very light suppressor, let's say a titanium can, but the mounting hardware is stainless steel.
Yeah.
We said, let's take that same idea of a really good lockup system. In this case, it's compatible with Surefire muzzle devices. We've also got ones compatible with A2 flash hiders in the birdcage. We said, let's have a really lightweight mounting system that is consistent, that also fits with the can's design and weight reduction to begin with.
Yeah, that's excellent. So you're not adding, half the weight of the silencer right back in with the mount, but you're still getting all those benefits of secure lockup, fast attach, able to take it on, swap it to a different gun, all of those sorts of things.
Yeah.
While the Rotex and SRBS are available SF mount or the A2 flash hider mount, they're all hub mount 1.375 by 24 mounting threads. So you could swap out a direct thread insert or your favorite QD system from whichever companies. They're all going to work together. So you can really customize these to work on whichever firearms you already have, or swap these to different guns that you plan on adding to your collection later. They're super modular and kind of work with a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Beyond the Rotex and SRBS centerfire rifle cans, we also have some pretty fun options. The Impulse 9mm, this is going to be great on handguns, and the 22 silencer, which is obviously great on rimfires. This is super lightweight. It's 1/2 by 28, so it just direct threads on. But this has some pretty cool features. If you want to walk us through what makes the Impulse so special.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So this is a modular can, meaning you can remove this section and actually take the end cap off the end and just screw it back in. But what I love about this can more than anything else is normally when you're dealing with 9mm cans on pistols, they traditionally like to walk off, as we all know. This is reverse threaded, so this doesn't just walk off like a lot of booster cans normally do.
Yeah.
And it's surprisingly quiet for what it is. I mean, that's not very heavy.
No, it's super lightweight, and if you've never shot a suppressed handgun, basically the way it works is there's an internal booster with a spring that allows the silencer to decouple from the slide. The mass of the silencer doesn't interrupt the cycling. But as this is sliding out and sliding back in, those threads are kind of getting beat on. That can kind of cause it to loosen up just a little. The magical thing about the Impulse is that cannot happen. So this is good for all day use. You're never gonna have to worry about making sure you're trying to tighten that on and grabbing a hot can or anything like that. Works super well on all your 9mm handguns.
Oh my, that's pretty nice. What do you got?
In addition to all the centerfire stuff, B&T also makes two of my favorite PCCs, the APC and SPC 9s.
Yep.
Can you walk us through kind of what the differences are here and why you might want one or the other?
Absolutely. So the APC 9 was originally developed for the European market. Obviously, we're bringing it to the United States. This is a very low recoiling AR9 system. So when you come to this standard AR9, one of the hardest parts, they beat the heck out of you with a standard buffer system. Both of these are designed with a hydraulic buffer system to really take the impulse out of shooting. So this is designed as a pistol, so this is something you can purchase directly from Silencer Shop as is. Suppressors down here, which fits under the handguard nicely. With this system, it's designed more to be cross-compatible with different platforms. So if you're used to running an MP5, if you're used to running an APC, if you're used to running a PDW of a different caliber kind, there's a lot of cross-compatibility. So as an example, you have a charging handle. So if you're used to an AR-15 or maybe running a SIG MPX, that's going to be an easy transition with the SPC. Whereas with the APC, it's front charging. This is also front charging, however. So you get the best of both worlds as an American market shooter, but you still get ambidextrous controls. You still get everything that you would expect normally from an AR-15-esque firearm.
And what I loved about these is just like the APC 223 that we saw earlier, these have their own silencers and they're designed to work as a system once again.
Yeah.
So they have ultimate suppression. They sounded really good. They ran super smooth. I especially like that hydraulic buffer. You can kind of feel when it's recoiling, it kind of slows down at the end. And that's what's really driving that sort of recoil impulse compared to something like an AP9 or an AR9 that just has a straight blowback sort of system. And the best part about these is they take Glock mags, ambidextrous, take Glock mags. There's a few different lowers. So if you are already invested in one of the sort of PCC mag systems, there's a likelihood that you can get an APC or SPC to work with all the magazines that you already have. And my favorite part was obviously that they sounded incredible.
Yeah. We do brag a little bit on our sound suppression, but the big idea is we want to give you something that is going to last a long time that you're going to be proud of. and that's going to do the job you want it to do, most importantly.
So that's going to be a great overview of the B&T lineup and what's coming to the market that we're super excited about. Just to recap really quick, you have the Rotex and SBRS 5.56 and 7.62 cans that are available in a bunch of different sizes and different materials, and they're going to work with any of the mounting systems that you like. So there's a good likelihood that no matter what you're shooting, there is a great B&T silencer that's going to work with your systems and how you shoot. In addition, we're also going to have the PCCs, the SPC and APC 9, including the SD versions that include their silencers. These are super fun. They're super soft recoiling and sounded great. Shooting all of these silencers today, we had a really fun time. It was great to see the reduced blowback, how light the Rotex were. We shot, I don't know, 10 different guns, full autos, semi-autos. They ran great on everything. It was awesome being able to hear the difference kind of between the different sizes. What I really liked is being able to tune how you're using your guns with the silencers. So with the longer barrels, we could go with a little bit shorter silencer. With our really short 10.5s and 12.5s, we could go a little bit longer. They still sounded great, but they weren't getting weighed down and they weren't getting all gassy in our faces, everything like that. It was super fun. I think you guys are gonna love some of the new B&T cans. I certainly did. Anything else to close us out, Nate?
I look forward to sending more product to Silencer Shop specifically from B&T. We got some pretty fun things coming for you guys, so definitely keep an eye on the Silencer Shop website. You may see something in the future that's going to blow your mind. These guys got the opportunity to take a look at today.
Awesome. Yeah, there's a bunch of more exciting stuff coming. If you want to keep up with what's going on with B&T and with Silencer Shop, of course, subscribe to the channel and subscribe to our newsletter. We're going to keep you up to date on all of the latest silencer news, deals, and info. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Pleasure.